you know, and that could potentially open the doors to, like you say, easeability because people are lazy. Yeah.
Yes, very. And they don't want to do anything. They don't want to look up something. They want to be able to just click. And that's what I
Oh,
keep telling them about. Like when I do the Tuesdays, when I talk on every second and fourth Tuesday of the month. If I put something on there, they need the little ad. It needs to be like a little click. But when they click it, it sends them straight to the Zoom
yeah.
or straight to the
So,
number one on five club.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, come on, mouse, cooperate with me here. I'll show you what I do when
Do you
I
have a green
put
screen
the.
behind you?
Yes, sir.
See, I got a green. I gotta get a green screen. I got a green screen, but it's like if I don't always have a green screen, you're gonna see green screen. Is it
Um,
close to you? Is it like right behind you?
no, it's about 4 feet. I moved my desk up a little bit to give me some more room. Uh, so if you look in the chat, when I put, you know, I put my two websites and my LinkedIn, and they're just highlighted as links. So they
Exactly.
go right to the websites, you know.
Yep.
Eh, like you say, you make it easy for someone, and you never know where it's going to go. And actually, I was on a meeting the other day, and a lady said, you put a signature behind when you send an email.
Yeah.
You put all your information, all your different stuff.
hmm
She's gotten business just because she does that, because someone said, "Oh, you're involved with this or you do that," and they end up creating some more business from that, just because it was on a tagline.
Yeah. Most emails I get are just. I'm like, who is this from? I see who it is in the thing once I click on it, but it's like at the bottom. They don't. They put like one name. They don't put their name, the information. They just put two. I'm like, what the
That,
hell is
that's
this?
that's the old way. You got to start doing it the new way, and it's again, you say, how this conversation started. People are lazy, and if the links are in front of them, that's where they're going to go to. They don't want to look up the information. They don't want to look up the website. They don't want to go find you on this. They would rather go click click. Oh, there you go. I can talk and I can find out who you are, what you're doing, and where you're doing it from.
Yep.
Because the the new technology has allowed people to get lazy.
Sure. We are just talking about that. Like when I was a kid, you had to look up encyclopedia and all that. Now it's
Oh
like,
hell yeah,
like
yeah,
oh, so the thought process nowadays is zero. It's
yep,
click, 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 click. Write me a
yep,
book. Write me a
yep.
paper.
Yeah, I just retired as an over the road truck driver with 3 million miles under my belt.
My dad used to
Well,
own an
about
18 trucking company.
eight 8 years ago, 9 years ago, they started bringing the ELDs in, and we went, get those things away from us. We don't want them, because they're going to be such a pain in the butt. Well, then we started using them and figuring out the tricks of using them. And all of a sudden they're going, hey, we can make more money with these, but they're making you lazy because you'd get up in the morning and go click, click, you'd start driving. End of the day, you go click, click, and you'd be
Yeah.
done. But as if with everything else, you learn how to use the technology, and all of a sudden you can make more money and you can start saving time. My my pre-trip went from, because on paper log everything was 15-minute increments. If you know anything about truck driving.
Yeah.
Well, with the electronic logbook, I can do it in increments of 4 minutes. Everything is off duty. Fueling, stopping to get fuel, 4 minutes instead of 15 minutes. You start adding up those extra, 11 minutes in a day, you could do 68 hours of driving and, 2 hours of work in a week. That made a big difference on the amount of miles that you could drive.
My dad used to have my mom's book in his book. He used to double log. He used to take my mom's log book and his log. He's like, I'm driving all the way through. I'm not doing this shit. I'm driving using my log.
That was the old way, and boy, you had to really, um, make sure your ruler was pretty sharp and your pen was pretty sharp. Whoop, rip that one out. That one didn't work.
He's like, I come up to a weight scale, and he's like, I gotta go. He's like, I'm going around that damn scale. I'm getting off, going around, I'm coming back around. I ain't going around that damn
Oh
thing. I
yeah,
want to go on that thing.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah,
Now they're weighing your emotion, they're weighing you like driving in the highway. It's like,
yeah.
I just saw a
But
video today. This
but
woman paid
but the
somebody to back her truck
reality
up.
of that is, uh, the retards ruined it for the people that were honest.
Yeah.
You know, and if you, it's like anything. You know, why do we have to have all this security? Because the idiots ruined it for the honest people.
We're going through that right now, big time here. Like we have Mardi Gras here because I'm in New Orleans. I'm right outside of New Orleans.
Yeah,
So where I live in Mandeville, we have one parade. That's it. Everything, all the parades everywhere else. But when it's a tradition, everybody parks along the parade route. You go out there, you go to your car, you have sitting there, you have barbecue, you boil crawfish. Well, since the crap in New Orleans happened, no parking on the parade route. But around here, there's nowhere to park. So I don't know where people are going to park and walk. They're not going to do it. So basically, you're letting this asshole ruin and run our lives now. So now the parade that they're
yep,
having, nobody wants to go to it. I'm not walking
yep.
3 miles.
And it was like for the Super Bowl, I bet last weekend that you probably couldn't get anywhere near that place for parking.
You couldn't hardly go. And that's the thing. The problem was they had so much military vehicles, so much tow trucks, so much police. So you couldn't. And actually, the Super Bowl normally helps out the community.
Yeah,
All the businesses said it killed them because they had trucks parked illegally in front of their buildings. You couldn't see it. They had the Super Bowl come in and set up all these sports memorabilia places and sports merchandise so that local companies didn't make anything. They had these
right.
NFL coming in and set up shop. So basically, all these other companies, they said normally they love tourism coming in. They hated it. They lost money.
Really, because there was so much blocking of,
Commercialized.
yeah. Wow. I hadn't thought about it from that perspective.
They said
Huh.
this year just killed them, killed their businesses.
Isn't that interesting?
It's
Isn't
crazy.
that interesting?
But I mean, all this, it's like, around me, it's where the parade goes, it's like New Orleans. It's side streets. It's all, you can't, if somebody wants to come out of the parking lot, drive into the crowd, how are you going to stop?
Yep.
You can't.
You
So
can't.
not parking on the parade route is going to do what? Nothing.
Yep. It's
It's going to
sad
make it
that
miserable.
yeah, they make it miserable for the person that wants to have a good time, wants to respect the law, and check things out, versus the idiots that don't. Yeah.
It's just, especially where the parade goes by us, it's all just side streets and neighborhoods and all that stuff. But a lot of the places, it's all private neighborhoods where you got to go through gates. There's no parking lots. Like New Orleans, there's parking lots here, there. Here, there's not. So in order to
Really.
get to one part of the parade, you got to park like 5 miles. Ain't nobody doing that.
Holy crap! Nope, ain't doing that unless you
Nah.
got a couple golf carts. Those 6-seater golf carts, and you want to make a business. You'd make a killing off doing something like that.
Once the parade like ends, they're roping the roads up. So you're telling me it's safer to open the roads with nobody parked along the roads than it is to all these people got to walk. But now where they're walking to, I don't know. So now you're going to create all this traffic in the neighborhoods that people get run over.
Yeah. Wow.
Nobody's going to parades. I know everybody I know. Nobody's going.
And I bet you the tourism people will not put out a questionnaire of yay and nay of some of these stupid ideas that they had to implement.
Yeah, see, in New Orleans, it's different. Like where I'm at, we don't get much tourism, but the Causeway Bridge in New Orleans. It's the longest bridge over water. It goes from New Orleans across to the North Shore.
I've heard about it. I haven't seen it though, but yeah, I know
I live on the
what
other
you're
side. I
talking
live
about.
right on the other side of the lake, right on the lakefront. So over here, it's like night and day. But New Orleans, like they have like the parades, they have endemic big parades that they pull like 7 floats together. Well, in between the floats, there's a little gap, right? With the well, somebody stepped between it and got run over and got killed. So what they do? They stop doing tandem float. It's like it's common sense. Don't walk through the float. It's connected.
But
Put
people
some
don't
netting up.
understand what that word means anymore.
Ugh,
It's pretty sad that they've taken the common sense out of people living because, oh wait, hang on, I got to check this and see if it's real.
exactly.
You know.
Say, look, there's a train coming down train tracks. If you step in front of it, gas is getting run over.
Yeah, let's pull in front of that semi and see if it'll stop quick.
Oh,
Don't
that's see
happen.
that's a I had a big old thing around here about that. They had like I don't know if you seen that in Louisiana where like and we had the highest car insurance, but they had this thing that with the doctors, the attorneys, and the truck driving companies were all in it together. People would pull out in front of these trucks on purpose, slam on the brakes, get hit, and all of them were connected. It was suing insurance companies. The doctors would actually do unnecessary back surgeries for these people so they get money. I said, I don't give a damn what it is. You're not doing no back surgery on me just to get some money.
No, no,
But they got
holy
caught.
crap.
They got caught.
Good,
It's
good.
like, what the hell is wrong with y'all?
Yeah. Eh, Sorry to get into the politics. It's like Musk finding all this wasted money getting sent over to
Oh,
Africa and everything. I know. Don't get you started.
no, I love it because it's just it just drives me insane that these people that you don't hear any of them having a problem. They have a problem with him doing this. They're not ever saying, "Look at the money getting wasted." You
Yeah.
don't have the right to come in here and get it. No, what Musk does not want your personal information, jackass. He
Well,
wants to see the money getting wasted.
the funny thing is, he's the one that started PayPal. He's probably got 90% of
Exactly.
the population's information if he wanted it anyway. But they can't tie two and two together because he's with Trump, and it's like
Uh,
holy moly. Yeah.
they're gonna get it, but you seen that the judge just passed that thing today that now that he gets to go look at their salaries compared to their bank accounts. They're gonna compare them and
Well, for
investigate them.
for the government people,
So Pelosi and all them, Pelosi has $332 million.
well, we've got
Cheney
that.
has 80 million.
I'm from Minnesota. We've got that.
Uh,
Omar,
oh my
eight,
God, she's a freaking terrorist. Basically, she see what she said in front of the freak about her country. She's gonna go in there.
yeah, but she started 8 years ago, and she's got a salary of 175. How is she worth $81 million? There's no way that math adds up. Like, show me where you got that money, and then get the boot. She needs to go.
But the whole thing is
Yeah,
that it's against the Constitution. Why, you're getting audited. What is the problem?
yeah,
The only people that go ring, 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 ring are the ones that are guilty and they got caught.
yep, yep. Minnesota is so backwards right now, of course, because Walls is a freaking idiot.
Tampon
They
Teddy.
just, huh?
Tampon Teddy.
They just put an ad in the for all the local schools here that they're still doing surveys for 7, 8, and 9, 10-year olds about all kinds of sexual stuff. And I'm going,
Against the
um,
law.
it's against the law, but we're still pushing through it because we don't care. And that's exactly what they said. And I'm going, I can't get involved with it because I'm Santa Claus, and that's going to say, nope, Santa's non-political, but I'm showing it to my friends. You guys need to report this stuff because I can't. You
It's
know,
amazing. Like we were just talking about that this weekend. It's like, if you look at this, just look at everything in this world, how much it in the past 2 weeks has completely changed,
oh yeah,
has gone back to the way it's supposed to be. I
yep,
mean, all these countries are bowing. I mean, everybody, Israel, all these countries are like, whoa, we're not doing this. And I don't know if you watched JD Vance's speech over there, but this
I heard
weekend,
about it. I caught part of
ooh,
it.
he told them straight up. I mean, just y'all are wrong. You're doing shit wrong. You're not. We don't agree with you. But it's like it's about damn time. 4 years of being soft. But all these countries couldn't never say anything because they knew they had nobody to back them up.
No, no, no. It's all this wasteful, and the one that gets me is some of these spending bills have been in that USID or aid, whatever it's called, for 50 years. That was supposed to be a year or 2-year program.
That's a lot of
Geez,
money
don't you
wasted.
think someone should be saying something?
That's what I don't get. It. I don't. I just.
What do you do, Michael, besides being a coach?
That's. I mean, I'm full time doing this now. I do coaching and speaking now. I wrote a book. What I prior did, I had a subsurface drainage and irrigation company. I owned a home and garden center that in the middle of my got taken away by my divorce illegally. But that's
Yeah,
kind of what's kind of why I switched to coaching because I went through 47 pulmonary embolisms that I had in my lungs.
Oh, damn.
I had 5 blood clot disorders. I have sarcoidosis, optical, neurological, and pulmonary. I've been pronounced dead, and then so I went through this divorce during all this divorce from hell. Like she had it scripted out, like literally
Oh,
had to.
I did that. My second lawyer said, "Oh, we'll have this wrapped up in 6 months." 18 months later, she still was dragging it out. It got to the point where her lawyer was begging me to help get it over the frickin' hump. Yeah,
Mine was in
and
17 days.
17 days.
She knew everybody. She was the president of the hospital where I moved to her. So she got a restraining order. She kissed me goodbye one day to go to work. Went to work, owned my own place. Got there, surrounded by police. Restraining order. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? And then she sent herself 2 emails, had me arrested. It's great. Like she had it just planned out perfectly. And
Holy.
kind of find out she cheated, got pregnant. She didn't want me finding out.
Ah, imagine that.
I'm like, you know
Oh,
what? It is what it is. And I said, all my friends like, I don't know how you going through this crap, dude, with the health shit with her. And every day you just keep. I said, what's my only choice? What's my other choice? I had
yep.
to push through. He's like, well, that's a mindset from hell. You need to start teaching people how to do that. I'm like, you know what? It's a good idea.
I'll tell you what. All our kids are grown. My baby's going to be 42 this year, I think.
That's how old I
41,
am.
42. I still pay her $1,005 a month.
Hey, you could pay me.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's okay. So I phoned up one of these big companies in Minneapolis, lawyer firms that specialize in helping men get better treatment when they get screwed over in a divorce. And he said, "You were married 30 plus years, suck it up, buttercup, because if you go back to court now and she can prove that you're doing better than you were when you're divorced, he'll increase that payment." I went, kiss that. Nope, that ain't happening.
The man has. People don't realize it's crazy. Like I've talked about it so many times. Like people don't really understand what a man goes through, whether you're married, have kids, or not. A lot of pressure is put on a man's shoulders. And it's like, and then we're talking about the other day, we're talking about loans and stuff like that. So let me tell you something. The person who can't get a loan, who can't, it's hard to open a small business, is the Caucasian man
Yep.
because there's no minority freaking loans. There's no minority grants. It's not woman owned. It's not this. It's
Nope.
not that. I said there's something for every single person except the Caucasian.
Absolutely. Yep. No kidding.
They think money comes
Yep.
out of our ass when it's like,
Yep.
no,
Yep. No kidding. So
it's just
I'll
crazy.
give you a brief explanation on what this is. Of course, I'm Santa, and I have my Santa Papa John website. But I've been involved with some military people, and I've created a whole separate website. It's called, there, I'll bend down, The Warriors Beacon of Hope. And what it is I'm compiling a nationwide list of services and meetings for veterans. And now I end up meeting with a lady 2 weeks ago. Her son's going away to school or went away to school this year. And she said, I looked and looked and looked for scholarships. I couldn't find anything. She ended up talking to a guy in October, and he says, "Oh, you're looking for the list." And she goes, "You have a list?" He says, "Yeah, I'll send you the list." There's a list of about 90 scholarships. So that's on my website as well. And, I'm trying to make it a portal to help our veterans because I am sick and tired of hearing the veterans say to me, "I'm on the waiting list." No, we got to do better.
They still owe me 56 rand for my GI Bill.
Yeah. So, if you want to go and do that, you can sign up for free. I'm letting the first 100 on there for free. And,
Okay?
going to create some traction to the page. And then I'm going to charge a whole whopping $10 a month after that because you can't give it away for free because we all know what happens to free. So, when I started doing this, well, actually, I'm pretty big on TikTok, and it started a year ago at Christmas time. I had a young soldier reach out to me, and he says, "Santa, I need to have a chat." I said, "Great. What do you need?" I said, "Follow me on Facebook a little bit more. I've got 86,000 followers on TikTok." So we went over to Facebook, and he said, "Can you make me a video?" I said, "I would be honored to make a video. What do you need?" He says, "I can't say I love you to my parents." Oh, there's the first kick in the teeth. I says, well, what's going on? He says, well, I've done 4 tours and signed up for the fifth one. I said, how old are you? 25. I said, when
Whew,
was the last time you seen a psych? Well, I've signed up and it's going to be like 6 to 7 months before I get to see one, and I'm going to be deployed in 4.
that's the problem.
So I introduced them to a couple people that I knew, and I said, no, this has got to change. So as I talked to more and more people, more and more veterans, uh, they told me the same thing, and I'm going, I talked to my wife. I said, what does Santa Claus have to do with veterans? I don't know. Let me pray to God and let's see if he gives me an answer. So a week later, she come back and said, yep, God thinks you're doing the right thing because Santa's a, you know, very predominant person. He's very respected. He's well known. Everybody loves Santa. So, why can't Santa help veterans? And I went, okay, I'll start taking it more serious. So this was back in August. So I started asking some more serious questions. And about a month into it, I was getting to the point where, yeah, this is something I need to do. I need to create a website. Guy says, oh, there is a national list. I says, oh, he says, yeah, they charge $5,000 a year to be on this list. And I went, are you freaking
That's the
kidding me?
problem.
I said, all the associations and groups that I've talked to can barely afford to pay their cell phone bill. So that's where I come up. Well, it can't be for free. So charge $10. And if you
Mhm.
can't afford that, I'll donate one of my stories. I do custom created stories for families as Santa Claus, where I'm reading stories to families and I say their children's names actually in the stories. So what a memory, what a great moment for the children. So if you can't afford to be on my list, I'll donate one of my stories. So it started off just with the services, and I'm not necessarily looking for veteran-owned businesses. I'm looking more for the services that help the veterans.
Mhm.
Doctors, lawyers, dentists, chiropractors, you know, that kind of list. And then my wife says, Bob the soldier is leaving from Detroit and he's going to St. Louis and he gets around Chicago and he breaks down and doesn't really have the money to fix the car, but he knows there's a bunch of group of veteran groups. They'll help him get over this little bump that he's on. How does he find that group?
Yeah.
You know? So that's what I'm shooting for. You
Put
know.
me in there. Put me on it.
Yeah, I think I sent you the list on the in the
Yep, I
chat.
got it.
No, I will get you hang on, I'll get you the direct link here. This one.
How'd you get so many followers on TikTok? Like I hit like freaking 5,800, and it's like I'm at a stuck. I can't get. It's like I'm like just stuck. I can't go further. It's like what the hell? And I was saying, say follow me, I'll follow you, follow you. Yeah, get out of here with
There
all
you
that
go.
crap.
There's the link. So check out the link. It's pretty simple. 4 or 5 questions, and we'll get you signed up. And how did I get so many followers on TikTok? I put a lot of time doing lives.
See, that's one thing I gotta do is I start doing lives.
I was doing before Christmas. I was doing 4 nights a week, 2 to 3 hours a night, and my record so far is 2,500 followers in a night with 375,000 likes in a live.
Yeah.
That's my record so far. Now I know there's 10 or 20 or 30 different Santas on there, and I know there's a couple on there. There's one guy out of Oregon. He's making about 40 grand a month chatting to kids on TikTok. I'm going, okay, if I hit 100,000, that's
I'm
my
about to
next
become Santa
goal.
Claus.
There you go. So, it's
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 some of these kids on there.
interesting.
It's like they make so much money doing nothing. They sit there. I'm like, you're sitting there absolutely doing nothing, and they're making all this money. I'm like, that's a mind of people watching these crazy crap that they're doing. They're pulled into nothing.
Yeah, there's a um, dad bod veteran, I think is his name or something. Um, he's got like 3 million followers or something, and he's making some good money. But he's on all the different platforms, and he does like two videos, 2 minute videos a day, and I'm
You
sure
think
he's
TikTok's gonna
probably
get
making
bought?
that.
You think what you think's gonna happen with TikTok?
It's going to stick around because there's over 6 million millionaires created from TikTok.
I think the
And
problem is
it's
the reason they don't want it is because TikTok lets everybody know everything that's going on. Because people think China is lower than us, and China don't pay taxes. China has this. They have everything that we should have, but they have it better.
right. I seen a good one the other day that really hit a good point for me. It showed a picture of Tokyo and said, "Look at this, amazing city, all the newest stuff. Everybody wants to go there because it's got the biggest, best of everything, blah, 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 blah." China spends $1 billion a year on infrastructure. The USA spends $1 billion on fighting amongst one another.
Yep.
And I went, talking about hitting the nail on the head with two simple little sentences. And it's so right because China, 7-year-olds are learning 5 different languages. They're like learning Taekwondo, and our 7-year-olds are learning about drag queens.
Hmm.
Sorry, you know, we're self imploding.
Yep. They don't pay
And
taxes over there either. You know that?
what's that?
Like the middle class and all that stuff in China, they don't pay taxes.
No, really?
The No, the big corporations pay for it, just like Trump's about to do here. Like
Yeah,
it's supposed to be. The big
yeah.
corporations pay all the taxes there, and that's what they don't want us to know. That's what the government didn't want us to know about all that. China's way ahead of us,
Oh, way ahead,
way
way
ahead,
ahead. And
way ahead.
because we're allowing us to self implode.
Hmm.
Yeah. See,
Well,
and
it's
I,
going to
I'm
change
no
now.
I'm no marketing major. I'm a freaking truck driver, but I've asked lots of questions.
It's about to change. That's one thing I'm so happy about. Like it's just watching the change in the past couple weeks.
Oh,
It's
isn't
just been
that
a,
been
a
brutal?
breath of fresh air.
And like everybody says, it's so obvious. The people that are bitching the most are the ones that are going to get hit the hardest.
Yep.
Jeez,
And that's the
you
reason they
know?
don't want to pass anybody through because they're scared shitless of Patel. They're scared of freaking this Bonnie. She just got in as the judge, so she is going to be. She's already going at the people. But
Oh
it's
yeah.
like the list, and you know what? If I was Cash Patel, I'd be like, when they ask me if I have a list, I'd be like, you know what I do? I have a huge list, and you're gonna see it in my office wall, all the way down. And if your name's on it, that doesn't mean you're a Republican or Democrat. That means your ass is guilty, and I'm going after you. That's my list.
Yeah, because everybody says I want to see the people that put these bills in to spend all this money overseas. Well, I would say it's probably 70% Dems and 30% Republicans because it wasn't all just Dems that did that.
Oh no, it wasn't.
No way.
And see, that's
You
one thing
know,
I'm like, look, it ain't. I said, I'm not going against them or Republican. I'm going against guilty.
yep, wasteful. Now, $3 trillion a year, if they put that into infrastructure in this country, how long would it take to get this country back into shape?
Not very long.
Not very long.
But did you see? Did you see how much tariffs that were paid last year?
Yeah.
$80
How
billion
much?
dollars. That's it. 80 billion. That is it.
Yeah.
Where other countries we pay like billions and billions and hundreds, almost trillions in tariffs. Everybody
Yeah.
like, oh, I can't believe you're going to charge tariffs. What do you mean? They charging us 25% for the past 100 years. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. And people, again, the people that are bitching and complaining don't understand the tariffs and what they can do and can't do.
Good.
And
They're
it's
brainwashed.
it comes down to people are scared to ask questions, and they don't want to ask questions. So it's pretty sad how they want to let the same old carry on as if this is the way the country's supposed to be run. No, not at all. Come
No,
on. And I said it from day one about Trump getting in the first time. Trump's a businessman. Trump's not a politician. And he's not going to take the shit and he's going to run it like a business. And
that's why they hate it.
that's what needs to be done.
That's why they hate it because he don't owe anybody.
Well, yeah. And he can't get bought off.
It's just, but it's just crazy what they say. Like, oh, he did this. Hey, he did this. He did this. Oh, again, I'm waiting for them to say he went to. Oh, I can't look at the money he's making on a Daytona. You know what? He should go there because he's connecting with the American people, saying, "Hey, I am with you through this thick and thin."
Yep.
That's what he's doing. I mean,
Yep.
yeah. What's the problem with that? Nothing.
I mean, the Super Bowl, I mean, I can't believe in the 50-year history of the Super Bowl that no other president has ever gone to the Super Bowl. Come on.
Nope.
That's a who's who of every game.
That tells you what they don't really give a damn about what the American people are actually concerned and interested in.
And going to NASCAR, that is getting in with every regular person in this country.
Yep.
I went to the Charlotte NASCAR race in October about 15 years ago. And the funny part was it was a cold, couple cold spell days going through there. So it was like 60 degrees. Well, in Charlotte, the world is ending because it's 60 degrees in October. And it was like, holy crap. And it was so funny. Been to Vegas, did the same thing, walking down the strip, and it was like 65 degrees. And I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, and they go, "Hey, you must be Minnesota or Canadian." I said, "Not bad, 2 for 2," because I am Canadian, and I moved down here. February 1 was 25 years I've lived in Minnesota.
Shit, 2 weeks ago we had 12 inches of snow here in New Orleans.
Yeah, yeah, we
And
got.
then we're about to get it again
Yeah.
Thursday.
Are you really? Oh yeah, it's
What's snow here
supposed to be
Thursday?
25 below here tonight.
25 bucks. Jesus. Oh my God.
I'll tell
Huh.
you what, this will blow you away if you're scared about that. The year before we moved to Minnesota, okay, you know where Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada is. Well, I lived in a little town about 120 miles east of that on beautiful Lake of the Woods. From the day after Christmas, they call it in Canada, they call it Boxing Day, till Valentine's Day, 40 days. The temperature did not rise above minus 30 for 40 straight days.
Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit,
Ain't
minus
no
30.
way.
And you go, you don't stop living, you just
You
dress
can't
for
even
it and
pee
go to
outside.
work. Say that again?
You go pee outside, it's gonna freeze to you.
That's right. You crank the stream and it freezes.
God, negative 30. Oh my God.
Minus 30 for 40 straight days. And I had to laugh because the next year in Minneapolis, well, of course, I'm about 2 hours northwest of Minneapolis. They're going, "Oh, we're going to break the record maybe tonight." And I went, "Huh, what kind of record? It's going to be 30 days below freezing." And I went, "Oh my God." And they're getting excited about that. And I'm going, "Holy crap."
Something I was watching
Yeah.
on TV, it said that this place gets it's so cold that they have to actually either keep the car inside or have it covered up with it running because it is so
No,
cold that their motor
they do a
freezes.
block heater. They put in a block heater, which heats the oil.
Well, yeah, I know what that is, but this place was like negative, like 70 degrees, negative 7. It was like the coldest place. It was like Antarctica.
Well, okay. Yeah. I know when it's minus 40, I did a lot of road construction for many years. You'd leave the
Yeah,
truck idle and
yeah,
the backhoes and the loaders, you'd leave them running all night because they
yeah.
wouldn't start in the morning if you tried.
Or a block heater, like you said. Like the new
Yeah.
trucks to plug them in. It's just crazy. It's
Yeah.
just like, wow, how do you live in that? It's like all you saw these cars that were covered in these net and these like tents, and then they had it running. I'm like, why the hell do you want to live there? That's miserable.
Yep. Yep.
What do you
Exactly.
do? You don't go outside. You go outside, well, you better go outside with goggles on.
Well, yeah, you can go with goggles. You have your hood on that just covers this part, so your face is covered up like that.
It's just if your car motor oil is freezing at that kind of temperature where they lived, what is your eyeballs going to do?
Yeah, your car oil becomes sludge.
No,
Doesn't
thank
quite
you.
freeze, but you know the old proverb, you pop a can of oil and it goes glug, 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 glug. When you do it, when it's that cold, you pop it and you go glug,
It's
glug.
crazy. I think what they said oil freezes at negative 56, something like that.
Yeah, it's got to be something like that. I'm not quite sure. I don't
I will
remember the.
pass. I'll
You'll
be
pass.
no way. I'm not living
That's
in
where
that.
you make sure your water coolant is at the right combination. Otherwise, your water in your you won't get cold. Or I mean, you won't be able to develop heat.
Man, I don't live in over there. I don't even want to visit. You can keep that.
But
That's
you'd go to Denver to go skiing.
I don't before, but I don't. I stay the hell out of there. Somebody wants to go, I'll go. But I mean, look, but the thing is, this, I can go there and I go outside in a shorts and a t-shirt when it's snowing. Over there, it's negative 60, 70 degrees. I'm not going. No, I'm not even going out the house.
No, your skin will start freezing in a minute.
That's how I lived in
Tonight
Vegas, and my friends are like, "It's dry heat." I'm like, "Dude, dry heat my ass. Vegas is hot."
it's 0 here right now. Tonight we're supposed to get 22 below.
Jeez, Pete's wait.
Uh, this morning it was like minus 32 with the wind chill.
It's supposed to be right now. It's 42 here. Well, it is. Let's see. It's 52 here right now. It's supposed to be 42, but then it's going down. What's crazy is it was just 80 degrees here the other day, and now it's going to be 26 tonight. So it went from 81 to 26,
That's a pretty big swing.
and it's supposed to snow again. I just took all the plants out and I said I got to put them all back inside.
I've gone to truck and used to go to Winnipeg quite often. I do Minneapolis, Winnipeg, International Falls, Minneapolis. Oh, we'll go to Chicago and then back to Winnipeg, and because we were the American division of a big Canadian trucking company, so we'd go, take something that was going to Alberta and we drop it in Winnipeg and grab it, and something goes out. I slept in Winnipeg in the truck, and it was 58 below, and that's when you tap on that dash and you go, okay, Betsy, you're going to stay running tonight, aren't you? You're going to keep me warm.
Have you been across the ice road? Ice, one of those ice road.
I did in my van. I never did it in a truck. Um, the Ice Road Truckers. You ever watch that show on History Channel?
Yeah,
Yeah, that is true. And I've got some friends that have done it, and that show ruined that business for those guys, because those guys used to make. I ran into
because
a few
everybody wanted to
guys.
be an ice road trucker.
Well, they would make anywhere from back in the day. They would make anywhere from three to $400,000 in 3 months.
Phew.
Now, with the ice road trucker, they're down to about 80 to 100,000.
Well, how do they get across that when it's not frozen?
They don't.
So they just only good over there?
You've only got a certain time. That's why they say they've only got a 4 month window to get all that stuff across.
Okay.
Otherwise,
So what
so
do they do the
you're
rest of the
going.
year?
What's that?
What do they do the rest of the year? They just don't get any supplies?
No, it gets flown in.
Okay. It's more expensive, way more expensive, probably.
Way more expensive.
So they get the big stuff
Especially,
shipped in by truck while they can, and then
well, yeah, you can, get 8,000 gallons of fuel in a truck versus, you know, 8,000 gallons of fuel. You're not putting that up even in a
yeah.
Herc, that's, 80, 70,000 pounds. You're not lifting that with a helicopter. So
So
you're
while
going
it's
to
frozen, they
do,
try to get all the big old equipment, all the heavy shit, all the oversized loads out there.
yep, yep, yep,
There's no
exactly.
way to put roads out there.
No,
That's
no,
crazy.
because where they were in Alaska, they were actually going to the oil rigs off the coast. So in
Oh,
the summer, they're depending on some
rowboats.
places, there's water. If not, the ice is not very thick.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm good. They can have it.
I ran into one guy. Well, the first time I ever went out on Lake of the Woods in my van, and I'm driving out and I'm stopping. I'm trying to figure out where I am because you remember landmarks from the water, and you go, okay, I know where I am. What the hell am I doing out here? There's 200 feet of water below me. And then I started realizing, hey, I'm in my van, but yet the lumber company would come out here with, a 5 or 10 ton truck with 30,000 pounds of lumber on it for a construction job for the summer. And I go, heh, my van's only 3,600 pounds, so I'm good. But it was up here. You
Mm-hmm.
had to realize that you're driving on water that's frozen, but you knew the mindset was you were safe. But if you
Yep.
couldn't get it in your mindset, it was a total different thing. I had a buddy I met this one guy that first time he was going across the ice road because it would save 3 hours of driving and he was hauling. Have you ever, do they have any wood trucks down there where they're
Oh yeah.
hauling wood
They actually
you
just
know?
announced they're closing a paper mill bus.
Okay. Well, some of in Ontario, they can be 140,000 pounds. They have so many axles.
Yeah.
Well, they would make the ice road and you go safe. Hey, you only can do 10 miles an hour and just take your time. Window open, door open, no seatbelt on, and you got to be prepared to jump. And I'm going,
You
this
going
guy
that water, you're
ain't
gonna
doing
die anyway.
no, if you jump, you'll make it to the ice and you'll be okay.
Oh, okay,
So,
yeah.
the first time this guy did it, he's, following all the precautions and he's driving. Well, your ice is like this, right? But when you get that much weight, your ice goes like this. There was such a bend in the ice that he was looking eye level sitting at the seat of the truck with the ice. So, he was down like 7 feet that he was bending that ice. And I'm going, yeah, no, thank you. I ain't doing that.
Mm-mm.
Nope, not going there. This one will blow you away. On one of the construction jobs, I ran a water truck to freeze the ice so it would be thicker because I was doing a pipeline job. It was 35 below Fahrenheit, and I'm running a water truck so I could take the ice from 2 feet to 4 feet thick.
Just spraying it over it,
Yeah,
back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
back and forth to create the thickness so the big tractors carrying the pipe could put the pipe in the ground.
That's ridiculous.
And you take a Tagger torch and you'd unthaw all the valves every time you went to water up because the water would freeze and
It wouldn't
like
freeze coming out.
no, because once you get it flowing, it won't freeze.
Yeah,
Even that cold, it won't freeze as long as there's enough flow
slowing.
going
Yeah.
to it.
Some
Yeah,
people leave the hose on outside, so it kind of drip, 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 drip.
yeah, yeah. Crazy, fun, fun,
That's great.
fun.
Here, when it rained, when it snowed here, it was everything shut down because
Oh, of course.
they don't have salt, they don't have graders, nothing. So I was the only one out there driving because my girlfriend, she's a vet anesthetist, so she's on call at the hospital. She kept getting called in. I'm like, I'm the only one out here driving through freaking a foot thick of snow in my truck. I'm like, I don't give it. Get out the way. Where's
Yep,
the road? I don't know. I guess I'll find out.
yep. Well, my dad taught me how to drive. My dad uh, drove truck when he was younger, and then he became an electrician. So he was a lineman for the telephone company. He built power lines, and then he went to work in the sawmill. And he told me a statement when I was 15 years old driving. He says, "You remember this because this will save your life." I says, "What's that?" He said, "You respect ice, or ice will kick your ass every time." And that's a true statement because in Northwestern Ontario, you had two choices. If you went off the road, you run into the lake or you run into a pile of rock. You're dying either way. So you
Mhm.
better respect it and you better behave and understand the rules of the road. Otherwise, it'll kill you every time.
My dad had trucks, like I said, but I mean, I've watched him how to drive it, but I never really learned. And so one day, my friend he was doing hay at the fairgrounds, and we went over there with his truck. He's like, "All right, I need you to drive this element back across the causeway." I said, "Do what?" He's like, it's not that hard. Just look, I'm gonna be behind you. I'm gonna tell you over the phone. I'm like, are you crazy? He's like, no, and this I'm talking going from New Orleans all the way to freaking Folsom, like freaking an hour and a half away across the Causeway Bridge. First time I'm ever gonna drive a truck across the freaking water. I'm like, are you nuts? I'm like, I don't know. It's like 30. I don't know. Up there and flip the switch. He's like, just listen to me, get in, and just listen. I'm like, oh crap. I drove that truck
Was it
first
an
time. I drove
automatic
all the
or
way,
was it a?
all a standard, all the way across.
Yep.
Up down quick the thing. I'm like, what are you talking about? Don't use the clutch. My dad calls. My dad's like, don't use it. What are you using the clutch for? Just listen. Oh man. And then I'm like, how you slow down? I was like, I go to slow down. I was like, I'm like, Jesus. Yeah.
My buddy and I, we were the two top drivers for a company out of 1,000 drivers. We were averaging about 170,000 miles a year. A year.
Jeez.
Okay. He'd do some years he'd do 180 and I'd do 165. Next year I'd do 170, he'd do 65. Yeah. And, so then they wanted to give us these automatics. And we went, piss off. I don't want to drive no automatic. I want to drive a real truck. All right. Well, we'll try it. So my buddy's words were, you know, I'm getting used to this. I can turn the corner, roll a cigarette, light it, have a drink of coffee, and I don't have to worry about shifting gears and go around the corner. And I can do that all at the same time. And he says, this might get comfortable.
But his arm started feeling better too.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So I like,
Yeah.
oh man, my arm's getting smaller.
Oh yeah. Yeah, real quick. And using the clutch, boy, your leg gets sore real quick. So you got to listen to the engine so you don't use the clutch.
I had to go back and forth to drop pot when Hurricane Ida was coming. I had to load it on a trailer, drive the 18 wheeler across the street. But when I got in turn lane, I couldn't figure out how to slow down. So I had to almost come to a complete stop and start gearing up again. That's not that. My friend's like, you're gonna break the shit out of my truck. Stop doing that crap. I'm like, I can't get down. I can go up, I can't get down.
Yeah. Yeah. There's another one that got me going was a whiteout in North Dakota. Yeah, can't be that frickin' bad. I grew up in northwestern Ontario where we get some bad storms. They call it a whiteout for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
A whiteout is snowing and blowing snow so bad you can't see the end of your hood. Not
It's that fog
20
is
or
here.
30 feet. You can't see the end of your hood. And there was a few times I literally drove looking out my driver's window at the yellow line, literally right down beside me because I couldn't see 5 feet in front of me. And I said, well, you can't stop here because then you're just a target. You're stuck in the middle of the snowstorm. And yeah. So try doing 5 miles like that, and your eyes and your arms are literally going, okay, I can do this because you force yourself, you have to do it. I did that a few times and it was like, yeah. Then you'd hear the weather report and go, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm going to bed.
Especially now you
Instead of
see these
trying to
wrecks that
try.
pile up, man. If I got in a wreck like that and I see trucks coming at me, I'm getting out. I'm getting out of my truck and I'm running. I'm not getting smashed.
Some of them, it's better to stay in the vehicle, and some of them it's not. It all depends on how you can move and where you can move, you know, because I was always taught that, especially like going through a construction zone and there's a flag person, and all of a sudden I got problems, I'm hitting that ditch. I'm not hitting that flag
Oh yeah,
person.
yeah, yeah.
That's an automatic rule. You're going into the ditch, you're going into the lake, you're going into the rock, whatever the case, you're not hitting that flag person. And I had to argue with a few people about that a few times. And I'm going, you're a freaking idiot. You can't stop and you're going to hit the rock in front of the flag person versus going into a ditch. Sorry, ain't happening.
That's what I don't get
Yeah.
how these pileups start. Because if you're traffic going and somebody bumps, how do they get this? How are they freaking creaming into each other? I mean, you're gonna be like a mile away from each other and not see it. I mean, I don't understand it. They both should
Don't
be black.
forget, a truck is 80,000 pounds or more.
Yeah,
A car is 3,000.
that's
What's
why if I'm in a
moving what?
car, I'm getting out. If I see a truck coming at me,
sometimes you don't have time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. True.
Yeah,
There's ones you see on TV that got all those ones these past couple of years. It's like, man, you got to sit there and watch your life being done just looking at
yeah,
it. It's like, oh,
yeah.
bye bye.
You don't have time to kiss your ass goodbye. And
Hmm.
it's kind of sad. Yeah. Well, I
Well, I gotta go.
appreciate you sticking
I
around
gotta
and
sit. I got a
chatting
meeting
with
at
me.
6 o'clock. I got a meeting in
But
6 minutes with Robert Butwin from the 9 to 5.
there you go. Well, I appreciate you sticking around, and this has been a wonderful chat.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
I'm gonna
are
contact you
you
about
on?
putting me on your list and all that.
Yeah, we got to connect on LinkedIn. Are you on LinkedIn?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I am today. I don't know. They might kick me off tomorrow.
What's your last name, Michael?
Kind of meet us.
Oh yeah, you're gonna make me think on that one.
E
M
C
I
O N
H
O M
A
I D E
L.
S.
Hang on. Okay, how do you spell your last name?
ECONOMIDES.
Look at that. Popped right up. I just sent you a connection request.
Jan boy.
There you go. Thank you, sir. I
All right.
appreciate it. This has been an
Nice talking
awesome
to you.
conversation, man.
I'll talk to you later on. We'll connect and get on something again.
You bet. We'll talk to you
Yes,
soon.
sir. See you
Thanks.
later. Bye.
Bye bye. Hi, Emily. How are you?
Hey, Shanna, how are you?
Good. How are you? That was an amazing conversation.
Yeah, it was a great
No,
conversation.
since nobody else showed up, but that's okay. That was a really good combination. And he's
Yeah,
in the no more 9 to 5. I'm a part of that as well.
yeah,
And
awesome.
I just had a really good talk with Jason the other day, and
Yeah,
he's going to help coach me a little bit, which is awesome.
that's awesome. That's good.
Yeah.
Help coaching with you, coaching you with what?
Just taking the business up to the next level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then he's come up with some good ideas that we can team up and do some nonprofit stuff with his not the nonprofit idea. So I like that idea, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's supposed to get cold there tonight. I was telling him it's supposed to be like 24 below here tonight.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be cold here. The next couple days here too.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So, all right, young lady. Once again, you didn't have to do much work, but you were doing it. So thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, supper's calling.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Santa.
Talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye bye.
Yep. Bye.